Peoria Central can prove those #1 preseason rankings true by defending their state title here tonight. Homewood-Flossmoor playing in its first ever championship game after knocking off #1 West Aurora. Peoria Central and Homewood-Flossmoor for the AA state title. This was the scene just moments before now here at Carver Arena. Homewood-Flossmoor entering the arena. Julian Wright, XL Hardy, they've made it to the state championship game after knocking off #1 Aurora West. The Peoria Central Lions back for the second straight year. Sean Livingston, Brandon Lee, and the Lions trying to repeat as state champions. Hello and welcome to Carver Arena here in downtown Peoria, the basketball capital of Illinois, here tonight as the home team, the Peoria Central Lions, try to repeat as state champions against Homewood-Flossmoor, #3 in the state, and they knocked off #1 earlier today. Can they do it again here tonight? For the call of tonight's game, let's go to Dave Bernhardt and Mark Lindo.
Here 1 year ago, crowned a state champion. It was Peoria. And the day after, the pundits were out. The high school experts said, you know, if you're looking for two teams that could possibly do it, it would be Peoria and Homewood-Flossmoor. Mark, that's 365 days of expectations.
Numerous open gyms, numerous sweats in the locker room, playgrounds, pickup games, you name it. Both these teams have pointed this night. Since that night, they have been the hunted all year long. They're hunting each other tonight.
3 long weeks to get here to this very spot. Here is how Homewood-Flossmoor did it. In Peoria, they knocked off a very tough Moline team in the quarterfinals. And then, as Lee mentioned earlier, don't be fooled by that score, a very hard-fought, close ball game with West Aurora. On the other side for Peoria, a rugged, vicious contest against Farragut in the quarters, and then they pulling away from Carbondale in the semifinals. So it brings us here tonight, star players on the floor. We've talked about many of them. 2 players that we talk about tonight, they are appreciated by their coaches, their teammates, and their fans. First of all, for Homewood-Flossmoor, XL Hardy.
XL Hardy is an outstanding player. 26 points a game, 9 for 22 field goals. This guy makes other people around him better. That's what great point guards do. 51 and 10 in the 2 years he's led this program.
For Peoria, we talk about Sean Livingston. However, tonight, it's another senior, Brandon Lee.
Absolutely. Brandon Lee, he's the man. 29 points on Friday and Saturday. A 6-foot senior guard. Northwestern gets a steal. He's the unsung hero. He can post, he can slash, he can take the ball to the basket. He can do it all. The glue for Peoria.
Take a look at the keys to this ball game. Homewood-Flossmoor, of course, knows all about Peoria. They saw him last year. Here are the Vikings keys.
Finish the drive. What a road race it's been for them. Bloom, Joliet, Rich Central, Thornton, Moline, West Aurora. The toughest road, they got to finish the drive. What they do is they must be great. He's an NIU recruit. 11 points, 4 rebounds today, but 6 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, all in the last 5 minutes he carried his team.
And for Peoria,
twice as nice. Can they do it again? Is it easier or is it tougher? We'll find out. The pace car, they average 72 points a game on the year. They want Homewood to play an up-tempo. And Livingston's legacy. Will Sean Livingston go down with 2 championships? Will he go to Duke? Will he go to the NBA? Will he go down as one of the greatest players in the state of Illinois history?
These 2 teams have 30 wins apiece, but you know what? Only one more matters. One more W in the win column, they take home the big trophy. Will it be a defending champion Peoria? Will be a first-timer in Homewood-Flossmoor. It's time to get it going. Who's going to bring home the big one? Let's go to our public address announcer here at Carver Arena, Paul Herzog.
Good evening, basketball fans. On behalf of the Illinois High School Association of the City of Peoria, welcome to Carver Arena for America's original March Madness. Tonight's championship game, Class AA boys, features the Homewood-Flossmoor Vikings, 31 and 2, and the defending state champion Peoria Central Lions, 30 and 2. Before we meet the starting lineups, please stand and observe a moment of silence to reflect on our freedom and remember the men and women in the armed forces serving us around the world. Thank you, and thank them. And now to honor America. Please remove your caps and address the flag with your hand over your heart as guest soloist, a senior from Champaign Central, Jonathan Butler Duplessis, sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And now let's meet the starting lineups for this championship game. At a forward for Homewood-Flossmoor, a 6'8" junior, 30, Julian Wright. At a forward for Peoria Central, a 6'5" senior, 15, Dustin Warfield. The other forward for the Vikings, a 6'6" senior, 35, Brian Nussbaum. The other forward for the Lions, a 6'2" senior, 44, Leslie Weatherspoon. At center for Homewood-Flossmoor, a 6'8" senior, 44, Cyrus Tate. One of three guards for Peoria Central, a 5'9" senior, number 3, Jacob Mottler. And a guard for the Vikings, a 6' senior, 4, Excel Hardy. And a guard for the Lions, a 6'6" senior, 14, Sean Livingston. The other guard for Flossmoor, 6'1" junior, 32, Freddie Barnes. The third guard for Central, a 6' senior, 22, Brandon Lee. "18 years in coaching, 9 in Homewood-Flossmoor, a record of 157 and 89, Roy Kandati. In his 26th year of coaching, 25 at Central, a record of 529 and 186, Chuck Bisher. No other.
Homewood-Flossmoor 31-2, Peoria 30-2. Here are your starting lineups for Homewood-Flossmoor. Excel Hardy, 22 points in the semis today. Julian Wright, foul trouble. He had a huge ball game in the quarters, and of course we talked about Cyrus Tate and the impact he had in the semifinals. For Peoria, of course, it's Sean Livingston. What a monster game he had today. 20 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 blocks in the semis. Jacob Mottler helping out with 14 points and 6 boards. So we get ready with the ceremonial delivering of the ball by Dick Benson, Vice President, Caterpillar Incorporated. And Mark, we sit here tonight with a packed house. We've had some empty seats here earlier this week, but they have come out tonight. There is not a seat to be had.
Well, what's happened this weekend is exactly what should happen in a state tournament. Every game has gotten progressively better. We reached the apex tonight. We reached the summit. We have 2 of the best teams in Illinois, the 2 best teams in Illinois, going at it. Peoria trying to go back-to-back. Doesn't happen very often. We'll touch that later on. Roy Kandati chasing the prize. Homewood's never won it. Some great players on the floor. It's usually sometimes an unsung hero, though. Who will it be tonight?
Last year, the Lions defeated Thornwood for that state championship 45-43. They will look to do it tonight against another team from the SICA East Conference. That's the Homewood-Flossmoor Vikings.
Homewood-Flossmoor, we mentioned it on the open. What a great schedule they played. So did Peoria. Peoria played in 4 different states throughout the year to prepare for this. It's been a circus, as Chuck Fisher said, with Sean Livingston and the hype around their team. Maybe that loss took a little bit of pressure off them as they came here. West Aurora then took the #1 ranking. But it all comes down to 32 minutes now.
Wright and Livingston, maybe the state's best senior and juniors, going up at center court. Homewood-Flossmoor in their road red jerseys. Brian Nussbaum with it. Senior with a turnover in the first possession.
1-ball reversal. Nussbaum found a seam and then just could not contain his own dribble.
Peoria just coming down the hill here to the Carver Center. Homewood-Flossmoor, the south suburbs of Chicago, a 153-mile trip. Jacob Mottler, he can knock it down from the outside. Sean Livingston, some say he may be headed to the NBA following this game.
Nussbaum on him. Interesting matchup that they have.
Livingston will look into the corner for Lee. Brandon Lee has yet to touch the ball in scoring position, so Livingston will elevate. A long board to Nussbaum. Freddie Barnes. Freddie Barnes, an outstanding quarterback for the Vikings. Banged up a little bit in the semis today. Julian Wright pops, but a whistle stops play. A 3-second violation. We haven't seen any of those here in the tournament. There's #1. It knocks away a basket by Wright.
That's a strange call when you haven't seen it for 7 games, but tried to clean things up early insofar as you can't stand there and camp.
Over a minute into this game, looking for our first point. Dustin Warfield. A little bit too aggressive as he was looking down low for Leslie Weatherspoon. We talked about Peoria right here. Big city in the middle of the state. 883 enrollment. Mid-State 6 conference for the Lions. And of course, Homewood-Flossmoor, mentioned they're out of the SICA East, an enrollment of 2,600. They come from the towns of, you guessed it, Homewood and Flossmoor. Cyrus Tate, the touch in the paint. And rolls it in.
Well, we talked about Tate must be great. He finished real strong in the semifinal today. Down the stretch, he carried his team. He gets the ball low in the box, backs it in, and gets the bucket.
Livingston with a little stare down there with Nussbaum.
Interesting matchup. They have Freddie Barnes face guarding Brandon Lee all over the floor.
Barnes is the best defensive player for Homewood-Flossmoor. But it's Lee with the little pull-up.
He said he's the glue. He's the guy that makes plays. What a steal for Northwestern. Great defender as well.
Lee with 21 points in the quarterfinals, picking up the slack. Sean Livingston did not have a good ball game against Moline. Here's Excel Hardy trying to get out of the blocks in a hurry. Ahead to Livingston. Here we go. Nussbaum on the defense prevented a sure two, and now have to peel him off the support.
Nussbaum making a great effort not to give up the easy 2, and the crowd exploding 2 that Sean Livingston would have had here. He would have had a one-hand slam jam, but Nussbaum's going to make him earn it at the charity stripe.
Third trip for Homewood-Flossmoor in 1985 under Don Laquetta. They finished third. Laquetta bringing 3 teams here to the state finals. Very quickly, DeAndre Miranda checks in, replacing Dustin Warfield. Again, it was back on February 19th that Miranda suffered a knee injury, had surgery, and was able to return for the first sectional game a little over a week ago against Peoria Richwood.
His minutes picked up. He started with 8, then 14, then 12, and he'll probably play about 25 tonight.
Barnes has to watch the 5 count, takes it in on Mottler. Lee snares it. Ahead to Livingston. Nice job by Nussbaum to slow down Livingston, but there's a great pass. In and out and around we go.
Great ball move. They got 5 touches already, but Homewood-Flossmoor was in their face on every reversal. Great defense after a great offense.
These two teams are great defensive teams. Lee in long range. Livingston back with it. Like quick off his feet. That's Julian Wright. Now he's looking into Livingston's eyes. Livingston. Nussbaum. Miranda comes in and just forces the held ball.
Miranda, 6'6", 190, a big body, gets away with that one.
We wrap up the high school basketball season tonight from Carver Arena, so it's time for the awards to start rolling in. Here's your 2004 All-State team.
Sean Livingston obviously leading it. Calvin Brock, the best unsigned player in Illinois. Arguably, Ollie Bailey put on a show yesterday morning. Shire, the best sophomore in Illinois. Pruitt had a huge tournament. So did Justin Dentman, a steal for ISU. Keep going. Jamarcus Ellis, he can flat out play. Julian Wright, maybe the best junior in the nation. Jeremy Krause, Jarrell McNeil, Matt Shaw, all definitely capable of carrying a game and a team at any time.
That's easy on the inbounds to Livingston.
What they did is they ran that play this afternoon. They screen away, and when the defense switches on the screen, they screen again, step in, seal, and then an easy bounce pass to the weak side for a lay-in.
Tate powers it up and draws the whistle. Cyrus Tate very active. He was in big foul trouble as Sean Livingston picks up the foul trouble this afternoon. Strong here.
This entry's all set up by good angle entry to Tate on the inside. Then he draws the contact. Could have been from either one of them, either Miranda or Livingston. They both got a piece.
Tate, a 73% free throw shooter on the year. Cyrus is committed to Northern Illinois University. Made that commitment prior to the season.
He'll be a very fine Mid-American Conference type player as he continues to improve his outside shot. He's a great 3-man in Division I basketball.
Lions have the Vikings doubled up here in the early going. Modler. That is something Roy Condotti does not want to see, as that young man get a good look to the basket. You see Brandon Lee and Excel Hardy here on the offensive end for Homewood.
Missing the high-low opportunity between Julian Wright and Cyrus Tate. Those twin towers continue to screen for each other inside, horizontally as well as vertically.
Tate with one dribble and the roll.
The key, that dribble was with authority. One strong, hard dribble, and he took it hard to the glass.
All 5 Homewood-Flossmoor points belong to Cyrus Tate. Lee to Livingston. The block by Wright. Livingston gets his own rebound. Tate with the foul.
The most impressive thing of that entire sequence, not once, not twice, but 3 times, the Livingston follow his own play. Very active.
Take a look at the rich history of Peoria. Their 21st time they've been here. They already have 3 championship trophies in the display case, and one's pretty shiny from last year. Brandon Lee with the free throw as Warfield will check back in for the Lions. Replaces Leslie Weatherspoon.
Brandon Lee gets to the free throw line 8 or 10 times tonight. That will be a telltale sign that the running game for Peoria is off and going, and that they will be able to get this score up to a tempo that they like.
Brandon Lee, Chuck Westendorf, the assistant coach at Central, says he may be the best defensive player he's seen. Nearly leads to highlight reel material.
Turnover, points off turnover is even more key. You see the 2-2-1 trap coming into the picture. There's a steal against Excel Hardy. Mottler with great vision up front, and the attempt to finish, but no way. You're going to earn it from the line. Great look by Mottler on that particular play. Julian Wright takes the foul. and makes Livingston do what he just did, and that's earn it.
5 quick points here for Sean Livingston. He had a slow start in the quarters with just 7. And he's given his team a 5-point lead. Doubled it up now on HF.
Livingston 20 points and 11 rebounds this afternoon. What a great semi.
Now we see the All-State matchup right here. Wright and Livingston. And the turnover. Actually, check that. A blocking foul inside. Cyrus Tate with the personal foul. This was away from the action at midcourt. That's Tate's second foul, and it comes with 2.5 to play here in the first quarter.
They'll have to get him out like they did today. He probably sat about 10 minutes today.
Brandon Lee fights for position. Sideline break to Wright. Oh my. You can't say anything about that. Just enjoy it.
Stop and go between the legs. Runner, square up shoulder, one-handed flip, 2 points.
Many people have compared Wright to Darius Miles. And he was playing right here in this floor for East St. Louis. Of course, now the NBA star. Wright just a junior.
Just 16 years old.
Livingston rattles it in. He has a quick 8.
Hey, the stars are shining early. No doubt about that.
Tate with it in the corner, staying in the game because the ball hasn't gone dead since he picked up his second foul. Barnes tracks it down.
There's that ever-mentioned long rebound. Comes out about 14 feet from 20. Comes out 70% of the distance. And you have to sustain and hold your block out much longer than on a normal shot.
Oh, did Tate just get number 3? He did. Third foul on Cyrus Tate. They did not have a dead ball to get his substitute into the game.
There is no doubt Mitchell Hayes has been sitting there for about 45 seconds at the scorer's table, and Cyrus Tate gets the foul before the clock ever stops. Roy Candati cannot believe what he just saw.
60 seconds left. Quarter number 1. The boys AA state championship. Peoria looking to repeat. Livingston. No call. Homewood wanted it. Here's Excel Hardy. Spinning. The follow by Barnes. Loose ball to Lee. Lee on Hayes. Brandon Lee.
Brandon Lee, are you kidding me? Totally under control. Full speed, slows it down, and then just pulls up softly.
Tate with an acrobatic move. Check that. Right with the acrobatic move. Count the basket. Put him to the line.
How about that? Julian Wright in the open floor gets to the highlight reel. Right hand crossover left. Go on the inside foot. Draw to contact. Kiss it on the opposite side of the glass. Athleticism. You just can't teach athleticism like that.
He was going to come down no matter what and single-handedly chop this lead. And he's cut 3 points off of it.
You talked about him being one of the best juniors in the country. He's got his schools down to 9 or 10, he says. And I read the list. Every one of them is a top 15 to 20 program. He's going to be big time, big time.
Trapping here in the final 30 seconds. That's what Homewood-Flossmoor is looking to do against the Lions. Down to the final 10. Jeff Wires may have walked, no call there, and now a whistle. Traveling call with 4.3 seconds left. Another chance here for HF.
Very surprised Julian Wright's taking the ball, throwing the ball inbounds. I thought they'd have him be not the trigger man, but the receiver and just go. Now it will be XL Hardy that's going to try to just take this ball about 60 feet deep and try to get it to the 10.
They get it right back to Wright. He has to crank it. Didn't get it off. The horn sounded before contact. Wright was unable to get a shot off, and Peoria, the 4-point lead after 1. This
welcome back to Carver Arena. 14-10 Central with the lead.
Get hyped! Get hyped!
Get hyped! The Flyers fans are hyped. How much does the experience of being here last year help the fans?
I don't know.
Does the experience of being here last year help the fans?
Oh yeah, definitely.
How?
I don't know how. We know what we got to do this year. We did it last year. We came back. The seniors from last year are back. They're painted. We got everything.
I want to hear the Lee Hall chant again. They're my people. I love them. Back to you, Dave.
Homewood-Flossmoor with it.
Just Wallace lighter for that cheer, I know that.
Wright, the turnaround, and knocks it down. 7 points now for Wright.
That's all footwork. He caught the ball back to the basket. Jack Sigmund reverse pivot, faced the basket, and knocked it down.
Lee, the best 6-foot post player in the state, according to his coach, rolls it in. Ahead to Nussbaum. Contact. Lee getting back on defense. Initiated a little contact on Brian Nussbaum.
Great look by Julian Wright as Peoria ran the floor. Coaches want you to sprint the floor defensively. There's a big difference. And Homewood-Flossmoor takes advantage of it and gets Nussbaum to the line.
Brian Nussbaum hit crucial free throws earlier today in the win over West Aurora. One here would give us the 3-point difference once again.
Intelligent young man, 27 ACT up on the board, an honor student.
Warfield, Lee, and Livingston with a foul apiece. The big number is Cyrus Tate, 3 fouls for Homewood-Flossmoor. He's on the bench.
He will sit the last 9 minutes and 11 seconds of this half. 1-11 and 8.
Lee wants to post up again. Instead, Warfield drills the 3. Warfield, a 6'5", 204-pound senior. He was a transfer this year, and he's put the margin back up to 6.
Warfield, we talk about unsung heroes, the 4th 3 of the season, and he knocks it down like you know what he's doing from 20 feet.
Here are the state titles that have found their residence at Homewood-Flossmoor. Non-basketball state title, 6A champs in football in '94. Golf has been very successful indeed, especially on the girls' side at HF. Nussbaum right back at the line. You talk about Warfield. Of course, he missed 6 weeks of this season with a stress fracture in his foot. He has just come back in the last month, so he's still actually working himself into playing shape.
You talk about chemistry. They have Miranda out, as you had already mentioned. They had Warfield out. They mix those two together, and when they come up both healthy, that just gives them that much more depth, and they can put some bodies on you on the inside to bang.
Neil Traynor, number 20, he's guarding Jacob Mottler as he come into the ball game, his first appearance for Homewood-Flossmoor.
Defensive move. Now they have Nussbaum on Brandon Lee.
And Hardy and Livingston. Livingston wants to take him to the rack. Dish to Lee. Wright is able to hang just long enough in the air, and here comes Julian Wright. Picked up quickly by Weatherspoon. Nice pass inside to Traynor. Hardy with the steal from behind, loses the headband, ahead to Nussbaum. Contact, no call. Traynor, and this is out of control, and they will get the foul called on Jacob Mottler.
I tell you what, there could have been a few fouls called. There's no doubt about that, but I tell you, I love about HF right there. They stayed with it, they stayed with it, they stayed with it. Just relentless going to the basketball, and then you play to the whistle. Homewood-Flossmoor did just that.
There's Peoria's non-titles, 1893 track and field.
They had a great team that year.
It was that dirt running track that I think really held them back even just a little bit. Hardy forces it up. That's about 3 straight shots now that HF has had to force. You see the ball in Sean Livingston's hand about 70% of the time for this team. already committed to Duke University unless the NBA comes calling in about a month. Livingston, the jumper. He's on tonight. Sean Livingston said after the first quarterfinal game, in which he only had 7 points, he said, you know, the rims have never been kind to me here at Carver Arena. Well, 20 points in the semis, 10 here with 5:18 to play in the second quarter in the state championship game. Nussbaum wants to go up hard.
You know, great teams do that. With the bottom line in the quarterfinals, Brandon Lee carried him here. Sean Livingston said, now it's my turn. That's what the team's all about. Different people stepping up at different times.
Jeff Wires will come into the game.
As inbounds play in the box, they're going to try to isolate Julian Wright on the weak side of the floor. He's going to step in right in to the defense on the weak side of the floor and try to create some space for a lob pass.
Underneath, Mitchell Hayes got pinned. Livingston found Lee for a moment. Good job by Freddie Barnes. Nussbaum the steal. The numbers to HF. The block to Livingston.
That was an incredibly well-played defensive segment by Livingston because he didn't try to beat him the spot. He just timed the block and put it into the second row.
State championship action here from Carver Arena. It doesn't get better than this. A 6-point lead for Peoria. Thanks to our friends over at Fox Sports Radio 1290. You're looking at a live shot of Carver Arena from the Civic Center Plaza building, the home of Fox Sports Radio 1290. We go from outside a beautiful night in Peoria to an inside packed Carver Arena. They have come out here in Peoria to see their hometown team. Homewood-Flossmoor has a great contingent as well. You're seeing the number 2 and number 3 ranked teams in the final rankings of the season squaring off here, and it's a 6-point advantage to the Lions.
Well, the winds change. It's cold outside, but it's hot in here, and both teams really heating it up as well.
Zell Hardy has decided to ditch the headband. Mitchell Hayes, he's never bashful. When he comes into the ball game, it's going up.
Very much a presence at that high post. He's got a nice little touch from 15 feet and a good high-low passer as well.
We said both these teams love to play defense. Homewood-Flossmoor, it's a penalty. They give up more than 50 points. They've been under 50 defensively 23 times in their 33 games this year.
Yeah, the penalty is if they give up over 50, they're on the line and running. So that's why they play so hard defensively, the fear factor.
Lee wants to back in, decides to spin, decides to draw some contact. Chuck Bisher cannot say enough about this young man. And as a young man, and just an outstanding leader. He came from Peoria Manual after his sophomore year and not only earned the respect of his coach, but of the student body. Brandon Lee was the homecoming king this year at Peoria.
When you talk about that kind of respect from his peers, Chuck Bisher calls him consistently great. What more can you say about a player than that?
See Chuck Bisher going to the bench, and you will see these coaches. I mean, you talk about fatigue. Yes, this is the second game of the day for these two teams, but you may see just a little bit more movement early on in this game, so everybody gets a little bit of legs underneath them. 9 points now for Lee. Even he and Livingston combining for 19 of the 22 on the board for Peoria.
Peoria loves to play pressure, and they're doing that right now.
Weatherspoon looking at Wright.
So they continue to move guys on him. They're trying to put fresh guys on Julian Wright to wear him down throughout the course of the 32 minutes.
Hardy tries to get a step on Lee, instead pulls it up.
Lee did Axel Hardy did a great job creating space, creating distance where he got the edge, backed out dribble, and was able to square his feet, get him underneath him, and knock it down.
See, the turnovers evened up at 5. Livingston, not sure if that was a shot or a pass, a little miscommunication, but nevertheless, we go the other way with HF. Wright around 3 men. Offensive foul, Julian Wright. DeAndre Miranda took it.
Miranda has taken at least 4 charging fouls in this tournament, and it takes a guy with guts, it takes a guy with intestinal fortitude to stay right in there knowing you're going to get it, and he took a big one against Julian Wright right there. A big part of a defense, protecting that war zone, that red paint on the inside.
Miranda, a defensive specialist, 6'6" junior. Played here in the state championship game last year as a sophomore. Timeout on the floor called by Homewood-Flossmoor. They trail by 3. In order to bring you the IHSA tournament, Monarch of the Glen won't be seen tonight on our viewers back in the Chicago area on WYCC Chicago. It will return March 27th to its regular Saturday time. Interesting timeout called by Roy Condotti. Again, you know, for those of us that are just joining us, coaches only get 3 timeouts here. He decided to use one right now at the 3:16 mark of the second quarter. What could Roy kind of trying to be manipulating right now?
Well, I think what he wanted to do there is make sure his team gets their runouts where they can, but he was trying to tell Julian Wright right there, do not try to force the play. Julian Wright has to stay within himself. It almost seems to me, I'm reading into his facial expressions, that he's trying to play against Sean Livingston rather than play against the Peoria Lions for a state title. I'm sure that's being discussed, and I'm sure they're being right now making some defensive adjustments as well on who will guard Sean Livingston. And the other thing is what they're going to do when they put Brandon Lee in the post. It's a mismatch in there. We talked about Brandon Lee. This guy can score inside. He can score outside. He can slash the baseline. He can finish to the free throw line. A complete player. That's why he will be a great player at Northwestern, especially in that system.
The beautiful thing about all these shots that you're seeing is the wide range of ages, and that's what's impressed me, I think, this year. As many years as I've come to this state tournament, the people, the retired people that make it their yearly trek. Of course, the students from each of the schools are enjoying it, and all the young people that make their way down here. I think it's just fabulous that we see that wide range of ages.
Well, they call it a happening, and it is a happening for the AA tournament in Peoria. Peoria's done a great job opening their arms to the AA basketball schools in the state of Illinois.
That was the second foul on Julian Wright. 3 fouls, remember, for Cyrus Tate. Livingston gets it, knocks it down.
Great set. He just came off a UCLA shovel cut pass, give and go, and he got his shoulder squared up. Set play coming out of the timeout by Chuck Fisher.
Well, the offensive foul on Homewood-Flossmoor turns into a bucket on the other end for Peoria. Their bid for their 4th state championship and 2nd in succession.
Motion offense by HF. They're running 4 out, 1 in motion. They need to get some ball reversals right here to make the defense of Peoria Central have to play. Good heads by Miranda. Well coached defensively.
Nussbaum off a little bit, but there's Wright for the tip.
Amazing right there, Dave. The left hand. What a gift he has to go either way. Just great knack for the basketball.
And this is Julian Wright. We've raved about him. He averaged just a shade underneath 10 points coming into this tournament. But it's the skills he brings to the floor that, as Mark said, has an awful lot of Division I schools interested in that guy. Weatherspoon is fouled inside.
Weatherspoon reaps the benefit of a great play by Justin Mottler. Justin Mottler, hey, how about the shot fake? You know, the shot ball here on the inside lay-in, and then the follow by Wright on the inside. Excuse me. That was DeAndre Miranda on the follow.
And that foul, bad situation for Homewood-Flossmoor, goes against Julian Wright. He now has 3 fouls. So Wright will leave for the final 156.
Weatherspoon goes ahead and cleans it up after he cleans up on the offensive glass.
One of 2 for Weatherspoon, but the tip out nicely done by Livingston. See how Central attacks here. Nice dish. Mottler into Weatherspoon.
Boy, he faked the pass over to Brandon Lee, and then the no-look pass to Weatherspoon lay-in, all broken down by the fundamental shot fake by Mottler.
Mottler, the foul right at midcourt. That could have turned into a quick 2. again, Chuck Fisher rotates people in and out. Warfield in, Weatherspoon out.
The fresh legs also equal fresh minds. That little break gives you a mindset that you're going to go back in the basketball game. You sit and watch, but now you feel better when you're fresh mentally.
With Tate and Wright on the bench, you may have to look for Hardy and possibly Nussbaum to pick up a little bit of the scoring slack here. The final minute 15 of this half. Maybe a hold called there on Brandon Lee as Hardy was trying to shake loose.
Excel Hardy being recruited by some mid to low majors. He said this was his showcase weekend. He really stepped it up and opened some eyes this morning. I think he would be a great get for a mid-major to low-major player. This young man, he plays with a passion and he plays completely under control.
15.3 points per game average coming into the tournament. He has his third point here tonight. A slow ball game in the quarters, 22 in the semis. Excel Hardy, most valuable player in a couple of tournaments this year for Homewood-Flossmoor.
Great stroke, 82% from the line. He just looks like a shooting machine.
2 free throws keeps the Vikings within 4. Chuck Fisher wants high-low. Now changed it to 4 corners. We have the luxury of sitting right next to the Peoria bench.
Well, the reason he changes, Homewood-Flossmoor staying in their zone. If they were going to play on, it would have been high-low. It would have been a 1-3-1 set high.
And there's really no reason right now for Homewood to come out. They've got a couple of guys in the bench in foul trouble in Wright and Tate with 3 each.
Cyrus Tate, again, from going to Northern Illinois. One of their leading players, their horse inside, has not played for this 8 minutes or for the last 1 minute and 11 seconds of the first quarter, and they have kind of hung around in the hunt.
I think Roy Condotti will be quite happy to be down 4, or I think he'd take 6 points down. I don't think he would argue with that, given his foul situation. Now Livingston will get it going.
Roy Condotti just changed his defense to a 1-3-1. We'll see if he changes back again.
Lee from long range. Oh, baby. So it's not a 4-point lead. It's not a 6-point lead. Brandon Lee's bucket has made it a 7-point Peoria advantage at the end of the first half in the boys AA state championship. Brandon Lee now with 12 points. Sean Livingston with 12. 24-30 coming from the 2 senior stars for the Peoria Lions. And Chuck Fisher's got to be one happy guy right now. Let's find out from Lee. Lee.
All right, Dave, thanks a lot. Coach, you guys are making it kind of tough going for Homewood-Flossmoor going in the lane defensively. You guys have done a good job inside there.
So far, other than a few rebounds, our defense has been pretty good. They're tough. We got another half to go.
Yeah, and Brandon Lee steps up there and knocks one in for you there at the buzzer.
Big shot. A big shot. No question.
From a big player.
Yeah, he has been. That's why we're here, because of guys like that.
All right. Thanks a lot, Chuck. Good luck.
Thanks, Lee.
All right. All right, Dave, back to you. He's happy. You're right.
One thing that Chuck Fisher has said is that Brandon Lee can sense the moment. There it is. We'll step aside for these words from your local stations. Halftime at Carver Arena, the boys AA state championships finds Peoria on top of HF 30-23 as Peoria looks to claim their 2nd consecutive state championship. They look to match Naperville Central girls in AA action. Naperville Central winning 2 in a row. Peoria would be their 4th first place trophy to put in their trophy case. Homewood-Flossmoor looking for their 1st. Well, 2 teams that have played hard all tournament long and have played in a 3rd place game just a little while ago. On the floor right now, that's Carbondale and that's West Aurora. And let's go down to the floor here of Carver Arena for our award ceremony for the 3rd place game.
Out of Summit Argo, representing Division 3. Todd Prusader of Rochelle, representing Division 4. Ron Connor of Clinton, representing Division 5. Jeff Whitsett of Alexis, representing Division 6. Jim Woodward of Anna Jonesboro, representing Division 7. Dr. Diane Dyer Dawson of Chicago Collins, an at-large member. Catherine Finch of Stockton, an at-large member. And Dr. Jim Quaid of Oak Park Fenwick, an at-large member. Presenting the 4th place medallions will be Jim Woodward, Anna Jonesboro, assisted by Todd Prusader of Rochelle. At this time, please meet the Terriers of Carbondale, which finished the season in 4th place, a record of 28-7. Their principal, Dr. John Dively. Athletic Director, Ms. Vicki King. Head Coach, Jim Miller. Assistant Coach, Michael Butler. Assistant Coach, Fred Hines. Assistant Coach, Joe Hamilton. Assistant Coach, Brent Jackson. Assistant Coach, Larry Jackson. And now the Terriers. 3, A.J. King. 11, Chris Harper. 14, Bryce Bassler. 20, Michael Floyd. 24, Philip Fain. 31, Devon Bell. 40, Stephen Haynes. 41, Manuel Cass. 50, Justin Luft. 25, Michael DeWalt. 23, Tommy Holder. 21, Lawrence Blackledge. 32, Alex Spearman. And 5, Justin Dentman. Presenting the 3rd place medallions will be Dr. Diane Dyer Dawson of Chicago Collins, assisted by Secretary Dr. Catherine Flanagan of Chicago Manley. At this time, meet the Blackhawks of Aurora West, who finished the season 32-2 in 3rd place, State of Illinois, Class AA. Superintendent, Dr. Sherry Eagle. Principal, Jill Bullow. Athletic Director, Randall Constance. Head Coach, Gordon Kirkman. Assistant Coach, Curtis Shaw. Assistant Coach, John Skip Ulrich. And now the Blackhawks. 10, Johnny Walker. 12, Sheldon Evans. 14, Brandon Kopp. 20, Haven Hobbs. 22, Jason Thomas. 24, Justin Sarasoli. 30, Junkwell Barrett. 32, Brandon Briones. 34, Derek Pryor. 40, Travis Marion. 42, David Watson. 44, Nathan Wayseth. 50, Sean Pruitt. 52, Terrace Brown. And 54, Brandon Hughes. Presenting the trophies, Dr. Jim Quaid of Oak Park Fenwick, an at-large member. Will Coach Miller and the captains of Carmondale please step forward and receive the 4th place trophy. And now will Coach Kirkman and the captains of Aurora West please step forward to receive the 3rd place trophy. Congratulations to both teams for great efforts and great seasons and great sportsmanship.
So we've given away half the hardware here tonight that we came out to do. We still have a little bit more business to do. It's Homewood-Flossmoor, it's Peoria, and right now, Mark, 7-point lead for Peoria. Obviously, that 3 by Brandon Lee was big, but it feels like Homewood-Flossmoor's had to be climbing the hill for the entire first half.
Well, the bottom line is the stars have been shining for Peoria. Livingston and Lee have combined for 8 for 16 shooting, 24 points. The twosome for Homewood-Flossmoor, Wright and Tate, 14 points. And that's the bottom line, that those guys have dominated the basketball game, Peoria, and they're shooting for that big hardware right there.
We'll be back to Carver Arena following these local messages. 30-23, our halftime score. The Lions from Peoria on top of the Homewood-Flossmoor Vikings. We are welcoming you back to Carver Arena and our coverage, completing 4 weeks of coverage of girls and boys A and AA state championships. As far as Homewood-Flossmoor is concerned tonight, they had to bounce back after about maybe 3-4 hour rest in the second semifinal today. Let's take a look at the numbers, just how things have shaken out here in the first half as you take a look at the shooting, which is not all that bad.
Well, 8 out of 20 for HF. That'll keep you in the basketball game. Peoria red hot like a firecracker, 10 out of 19. Both teams doing well from the free throw line. Homewood-Flossmoor not off the snide at all from the arc. Excel Hardy's got to get it going there. Rebounds dead even, so no blood there.
Turnovers have been relatively down here today.
Well, the bottom line is both teams taking pretty good care of the basketball. Whoever turns it over at least the second half and starts to dominate the boards will indeed take over this basketball game.
Leading scores in this ball game. First of all, for Peoria, you will see the big numbers there for Livingston and Lee, 12 apiece. Homewood-Flossmoor, Wright and Tate leading the way with 9 and 5 points. However, that's with foul trouble. Both of those players sitting. In fact, Cyrus Tate sitting for 9 minutes. The big situation for Homewood-Flossmoor, they had 4 players in double figures in the state semifinals earlier today.
Well, they need to hit Cyrus Tate to play the whole 16 minutes in this half. They need to him come up big like he did the last 5.5 minutes today. He's got to be a horse inside. He doesn't have a rebound in this game. He's going to have to pull 5 or 6 in the second half.
Let's run it over to Lee Hall right on the sidelines right now.
All right, thanks, Dave. We're with Roy Condotti, coach a couple of guys in foul trouble. What did you tell your team at halftime?
Well, we have to do the things that got us here. You know, we're in foul trouble. The kids that come off the bench have to step up for us, and we have to play the hardest 16 minutes we've played all season.
All right, Coach, good luck to you second half.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Coach. And now we will be back with more after these local messages. Don't go away. Second half action right after this.
And we'll have more action from the boys' AA championships coming up after these messages. 16 minutes separate us from the 2004 state champion boys AA basketball team. Joining Decatur, St. Teresa, Naperville Central on the girls' side. Last week it was the Leo Lions in Class A. Will it be another Lion here tonight? Peoria with it to start half number 2.
They always talk about the first 3 minutes of the second half.
That's a big one.
And what a big start for Peoria. They reverse the ball, got a back screen lob. Great set play out of the timeout. What a way to start that first 3 minutes for the Lions.
Biggest lead of the night, one of the biggest leads of the tournament at 9 points. Wright with the assists. He finds Freddie Barnes for Barnes' first bucket this evening.
That was an imperative answer by a well-disciplined Homewood-Flossmoor team. They had to score that possession, and they did.
So Julian Wright with that assist. That is one thing he absolutely prides himself on. Loves to dish it. He averages 4.9 assists per game. One thing you saw Jacob Mottler there do outside the arc, he will not force a three-pointer.
No, he's totally under control of himself. Utilizes the shot fake better than anybody in this tournament. Shot fake, pass fake are lost arts in high school and college basketball.
Wright with 3 fouls guarding Livingston. See a little bit of a zone look here as we have Brett Allman, the official, coming right here in our laps.
Now this zone is solely to help Cyrus Tate stay out of getting his 4th foul. So for Peoria with the lead, they can be as patient as they want and continue to let the clock melt down and shorten the game right now.
Well, one of the keys to the game was pace card. Peoria Central would dictate the pace.
And they're doing just so right now.
Lee on the step in. Flat-footed rebound on Wright, and it was slapped off of his leg by Dustin Warfield. Roy Condati, great coach of Chicago Westinghouse back in 1992, led the Warriors to a 3rd-place finish. Now he brings his club, his Homewood-Flossmoor club, here for the 2nd time. Livingston to go to the line.
Second time early on, the first 2 minutes of this half, they've utilized the leaping ability of Livingston. Inbounds play, all the action is going to be underneath on this inbounds play with cross screens. Livingston just slides down from the top, draws the contact on the lob pass, utilizing his left hand.
DeAndre Miranda, 2 minutes into the 3rd quarter, will check in, replacing Warfield. Long rebound out to Nussbaum. Pretty important trip here for Homewood-Flossmoor. Tate wanted the ball inside. They didn't get it to him. Nussbaum can knock it down from there. Tate can do it from there too.
That's what makes Tate great. Just cleans up the garbage, and I say that in a complimentary way. He's got to get involved here.
Just a 5-point difference. Mottler on the dish to Miranda. Weatherspoon, nice rebound. Mottler drills the 3.
Cerebral play. He knew where the arc was. He took 1 step back. Instead of taking a 2, he got the 3 in. He nailed the triple.
Tate aggressive inside. As soon as that whistle blows, all heads spin to see whether it could be on one of the men wearing red jerseys. Take a look at Chuck Fisher's record. It's not a bad job, huh? 12-2 in the 4th time you've been here. Defending state champs, 2 second-place finishes. One of those was a triple overtime loss to East St. Louis Lincoln.
A lot of talk that's not been answered. Is this Chuck Fisher's last game at Peoria High or not? He has not tipped his hand on that one. What a way to go out if you go back-to-back, huh? Stable full of stallions he is assembled here.
1 of 2 for Tate. See Peoria working hard offensively, not rushing anything.
Good ball movement, good stringing action. They're going to reset it and start their motion game all over again.
You know, we've talked about patience on offense. A defense has to have patience as well. I mean, you cannot fall asleep at any one moment.
Well, you also can't over-pursue because then you get backdoored. You have to stay focused mentally.
Weatherspoon keeps it alive momentarily, but it ends up in the hands of Hardy, and now Wright to bring it up the floor. Julian Wright wants to take Weatherspoon. He does.
He just waved his hand. He said, get out of my way to his teammate. He said, I want a one-on-one opportunity. Clear the left side. He finishes.
Nussbaum got a hand on the ball, then got a body on Miranda. Foul on Nussbaum is his third. He joins Wright and Tate with 3 fouls as we have a timeout on the floor. This is the home for March Madness, and this is your home for high school basketball, the IHSA Television Network.
Homewood-Flossmoor is trailing throughout this basketball game, but hanging around. As long as you're hanging around, one little kind of streak, one little run, and you're going to put the pressure back on Peoria.
No trouble with the pressure. Again, here it's Livingston and Nussbaum.
Peoria's biggest lead was 9.
Lee, the post move, gets his own rebound. Mottler spots it, hits it. 3-ball, Jacob Mottler. That's 2 here in the last few moments.
Lee in the post. He can't finish. Lee fouls his shot, makes a play. Lee throws it back out to Mottler for a 3-ball, inside out. Great basketball by Brandon Lee. Mottler with the finish.
Hardy tries to answer. Weatherspoon yanks it down. No hurry here for the Lions with 3:20 left in an 8-point lead in the third quarter. Last year was a 45-43 win over Thornwood for the state championship.
They created separation once again. This is a huge possession. They go to double digits. Part of the psyche part of the game.
There it is. Livingston with 16 points. 5 becomes 10 points in a hurry.
Cyrus Tate has to get a touch this time down the floor.
Barnes doesn't do it. A rebound. Ahead we go. 2-on-1. So they bring it back out. Nothing was there. Lee. It may have been the easiest shot Brandon Lee has had this entire tournament.
That's why he didn't make it. He didn't have his footwork ready, no rhythm. He shot that ball flat-footed.
Tate does get the touch.
A little bit impatient right now are the Vikings, something we haven't seen.
They look a little leg weary as well. A little bit slower on defense, chasing down the loose balls. Livingston will lead back in Nussbaum. Little jump hook.
There's the back end. That's vintage driveway right there. Just back in your defender and use your height advantage.
The biggest lead of the night, that 12. Barnes. Big 3 for Freddie Barnes.
That triple was big by Barnes. You've mentioned he's a football quarterback. You need his leadership skills, and he made a leadership type play right there when they needed it most.
Little switch here with Nussbaum on Mottler. Hardy has Livingston in the corner.
Livingston drives. They're going to jump and double team on Livingston. He just can't handle him on his own.
Instead, Livingston jumps right over Hardy, and it was a one-on-one matchup.
They're going to have to jump another guy at him and make him give the ball up.
Tate, the catch and the score.
Great pass away from the defense. You don't pass the ball to your teammate if you're a good passer. You pass the ball away from the defense. Let him go get it.
Chuck Fisher wants 4 corners in the final 30 seconds here of the third quarter.
Peoria executed extremely well in this third quarter to build on their lead.
Was a 7-point advantage at the half, and that was compliments of Brandon Lee's three-pointer. Livingston wants more than a 9-point lead. Look at that pass. And the follow. Oh, they closed out the quarters in strong fashion. DeAndre Miranda with the bucket. Makes it an 11-point lead after 3 for the Lions.
And welcome back to Carver Arena in downtown Peoria. Peoria Central leads 46-35. Rockton Hononegah Band. Gene Gregoire is the director, and they were wise to choose a song, Peter Gunn, that has no lyrics, so I can't sing along with them. I know you're disappointed, but not as nearly as disappointed as I am. Back to you, Dave.
All right, let's see how long it takes us to get over that. All right, let's play on. Fourth quarter, we begin. Neil Traynor into the ball game for Homewood. 8 minutes away for a state championship for one of these two teams. The Vikings will have to get it going in a hurry, however. Turn around by Mitchell Hayes. Again, he doesn't wait. Strong board inside by Tim Johnson. Both shots come up empty. And now the Lions will just walk it up.
Homewood trying to play just a little bit bigger right now.
Every time Sean Livingston comes down the floor, he has a different matchup awaiting him. This is Julian Wright. Wright picked up 3 fouls in the first quarter, and there's number 4.
Julian Wright has to be a little bit more cerebral than that. He does not need to guard him 42 feet away from the basket. Where is that right there? And gets himself a seat of the bench. You're going to have to get him out of the basketball game right now.
Mass substitutions, 3 in for HF. Wright stays on the floor.
He's got to be careful now. And they're going to go right at him, believe me.
Yes, they will. Livingston the dish to Miranda. Wright with the block. Livingston and Barnes. Wright all over Livingston. I think with 6:57 left, Mark, Julian Wright says, you know what? I've got to play as hard as I can right now, no matter my foul situation.
Yeah, he's got to play on, but he's got to also keep himself in the basketball game. He's got to be smart enough that if there is a lay-in opportunity, he's got to let it go and not force himself to the bench with a lot of time left. His team needs his scoring and his passing ability.
The steal by Barnes. Get ready. Julian Wright with the finish.
If anything's going to get them going, it's that. They really picked up the defensive tension. Essentially 94 feet away right now.
Once again, Weatherspoon says, I'm not the guy to handle this ball. Number 14 is. Sean Livingston started his high school career at Peoria Richwoods. He played on this floor with Richwoods in the quarterfinals. In fact, the irony of that is that he played against Thornwood. Thornwood had a big guy by the name of Eddie Curry who played his last high school game on this floor, never went to college, played in the NBA. Sean Livingston may be considering the same thing. The other way, Excel Hardy. A little bit of momentum here by the Vikings in the first couple minutes of this quarter.
Using their athleticism a little bit more as Homewood-Flossmoor. They don't want a fast pace, but they have to play right there. Pull-up shot by Excel Hardy. Brandon Lee knew it, and straight up in the air, got him on the wrist. They have a chance to close the gap with the clock sitting at 6:18.
Third foul on Lee.
Definitely see full court pressure if Excel Hardy makes this free throw. They'll set up baseline to baseline, and then they have to keep the ball in Sean Livingston's hands. That's going to be the key to the last 6:18.
It's in his hands right now. Now Lee's, now Miranda's.
What they're trying to do is create open floor space and then let him drive, draw, and dish. That's what the idea is.
I believe the clock is frozen. It's one of the officials. Sitting at 6:14 right now, as you can see in your lower left-hand corner.
The question is, did it move after that?
Well, they're taking 5 seconds off it, so they will put it at 6:09.
That was at 6:18 we mentioned on the dead clock, so that's about right. Good officiating.
Boy, Condati right now would like to see that clock stuck for about the next 3 minutes. Livingston 15-footer. They may have had trouble with the rims in the past, but not tonight. 22 points for the All-American.
The rim wasn't in front, because all he got was the bottom of the net.
Nussbaum. Right, the tip out of bounds.
I think Peoria's played as well this game as they have in either of the first two, and they do it on championship night. That's the mark of a champion.
They've only turned the ball over 6 times tonight. Homewood's only turned it over 7. Both teams have been facing some pretty good pressure.
You got great ball handlers. Sean Livingston's awesome. Brandon Lee never makes a mistake. Justin Mottler, or Jacob Mottler, just a great player who plays with a keen sense of security all the time he has the basketball.
The clock moves as the defense shifts for the Vikings. Here's a trap.
When you're looking at right now are 4 guys on the floor that were out there at the final buzzer last year, so they know what it takes.
You know, the thing's impressive about this, you have 4 people that have handled the ball here in the last 15 seconds for Peoria.
They're going to get the ball back to Brandon Lee in the middle, and he can create 3-on-2 if he wants, and one of these times he's going to.
Homewood's tired. The ball is tough to chase as it is, but playing your second game in about 5 hours is really tough.
There it is.
Lee keeps the ball alive. You look at Brandon Lee and you wonder, how does a guy do it? He's 6 feet tall.
Well, he's such a quick jumper, and he anticipates so well. And he follows his own shot so well. People have to get a body on him, or he's going to hurt you.
We are 4 minutes away from deciding who takes home the big trophy, and right now it's looking pretty good for Peoria. Crunch time here in the boys AA finals. Homewood-Flossmoor's been chasing the Lions all night long.
And they're going to be chasing for the next 4.5 minutes. They're going to chase them on this defense. Peoria's going to spread it out.
Livingston and Mottler both assume point guard responsibilities and have point guard skills. Livingston just does his about a foot taller. He just went over the back.
That's a shot that I think Sean Livingston would like back. He wanted to distribute that basketball, or he should have distributed that basketball rather than pull up, but 22 points up on the board. The All-American basically feeling it, but a poor decision, one of his first poor judgments in the entire evening.
Hardy. Again, the rebound to Lee. That's his 9th board of the night.
Shell Hardy 0 for 5 from the arc. That's a storyline. He needed to be good for them in order for them to win this basketball game, and he has not been able to knock down his jumper.
There's going to be a foul or a turnover, and it's a foul on Hardy.
You know, our stats don't tell us, but I would love to know all the basketball games that Jacob Mottler has played this year, all the times he's handled the ball, how many times has he turned it over? That young man just does not make mistakes. And what more can you ask of a point guard or a would-be point guard with Sean Livingston, the guy that has it most of the time?
Well, you mentioned earlier, it's all about fundamentals. Livingston. He'll shoot 2.
You have to be frustrated, no doubt about it, if you're Homewood-Flossmoor. You're trailing, they spread the floor, and who can guard Sean Livingston one-on-one. You double team him, and he just gives the ball to somebody else. They're definitely, we talked about the road, they're in the driver's seat right now.
Chuck Fisher still working it with 3:28 to play.
It impresses me so much. Look at the eye contact between Mottler and Lee. They are right there giving their coach full respect, full communication. That's what it's all about, as they both respect the man that's led them to 2 would-be championships.
23 points now for Livingston. Follows up on his 20-point performance this afternoon. Hardy gives it up to Mottler. It's all about the clock right now for the Lions. They do get the timeout before the held ball. 3:10 left, a 10-point difference. Peoria and Homewood-Flossmoor, each team with 2 timeouts remaining. We'll be back and wrap it up the final 3:10 here. We're going to crown a state champion in a little bit, right after this. This copyrighted broadcast is presented for the entertainment and non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction or other use of this program without the express written consent of the Illinois High School Association and cost broadcast sales is strictly prohibited. Well, the smiles are staying on the cheerleaders' faces for Homewood-Flossmoor. They have hope with 3 minutes left. Yeah, they got the traveling call. Mottler wanted a timeout, so he was kind of tight-roping that traveling call. A little bit of a hop there from Jacob Mottler off the pass from Miranda.
Tell you what, one of the few mistakes Peoria has made tonight, they made it on the timeout. Turnover-wise, just their 7th, and that's how you win state championships, by taking care of the basketball. They've done that for the most part tonight. Both teams taking care of it. Only 8 for Homewood-Flossmoor, but Peoria shot the ball better.
Wright looking to cut into the 10-point lead. Takes the eventual bucket. He has 12. Timeout called by Homewood-Flossmoor. They will have 1 left. Roy Condotti has to draw up something here defensively to make things happen, to cut it by 8 points. You know, it's been a long journey to bring you 4 telecasts here from Redbird Arena, now from Carver Arena in Peoria. 4 long weeks, Class A, Class AA. How do we get it done? These people right here. Whether it be on camera or behind the scenes, it takes several people to make it all happen. Yep, sometimes in the arena, sometimes they never see the light of day. We go up front. You have to hear us. It's all about audio. It's all about video. And of course, which camera shots are you going to see? That's the guy, Frank Vance, that makes it happen for you. You like the words, you like the numbers on the page? You get it right there. And of course, the boss man himself, the one on the right, Jim O'Boy, executive producer here for our IHSA telecast. It's been 4 long weeks. Nice going, guys. Great job. And I know the sports fans, high school sports fans here in Illinois, appreciate everything that all these people do for them.
You know, and the production people are there till what? 1, 2 in the morning.
That's right.
Back here at 8 in the morning getting things ready. It's about an 18 to 20-hour day during this tournament, so that fans across the state of Illinois can enjoy the best product there is. That's IHSA State Tournament basketball.
And we'd like to pass along our thanks to all of our spouses and loved ones who have really sacrificed 4 weeks. People have been involved in these telecasts. That's a lot of time away from your family. It takes a lot of understanding people at home to make sure we can go home to smiles. Thank you very much. Peoria looking for their big smile, their second smile, 365 days right here on this floor.
You should see nothing but a free throw or a layup here from Peoria the next 2:20.
So hard to defend when you have a man that stands 6'7", playing the point. He reaches over, he reaches under, he gets fouled, he drives. That's why Sean Livingston's an All-American, 4-year starter. And again, the conjecture around the city is, will some NBA team think, you know what, you can take a chance on an 18-year-old young man with 6'6" that will play point guard at the next level.
Well, he came up big today. There's no doubt about that. His stock went back up, but he's still got some improvement due and some strength to put on. If he gets a contract offer, he's a project, but he'd be one worth gambling on.
Julian Wright may have a similar decision next year. Can't get that one to go, though. Another rebound pulled down by Livingston. That's his 8th. Liam Livingston have combined for 35 points and 17 rebounds tonight. And the dish. Leslie Weatherspoon to get a couple.
Sean Livingston gets the ball in the middle of the floor. He is just a dangerous young man to drive, the distribution of the basketball, and he makes other people around him better. Great players make other people around him better. Livingston does that, and Lee does that. That's why they might have back-to-back rings on their finger.
Brian Nussbaum will come back in. You know, you see all these passes from Livingston. You've got to catch them. His teammates have learned in the last few years, you know what? Our head has to be up. He will deliver.
His vision is impeccable, but people are, you're right, they have to be ready for the basketball anytime, and they know each other very, very well, the movements on the floor.
8 points, a lot of points with 1:40 left. That's what HF is chasing. And now it's 6, and it could be 5.
Good job right there. The beg for the ball on the inside by Cyrus Tate. He wants it. He's posting up big. Good angle on the entry pass. The beg and the drop step and the finish. And a good set by Homewood-Flossmoor as they just keep hanging around.
Big free throw here for Cyrus Tate. 1:37 left.
Out of 10, Homewood is from the arc. They're going to need 1 or 2 triples if they're going to get back in this thing. They need a turnover right now.
They get 3 the old-fashioned way here to make it a 5-point game. And here's the pressure. And there's the turnover. Barnes on the floor. Homewood-Flossmoor has a shot with 1:28 left.
They're not done yet. Roy Condotti's team won't quit. And I'm going to go right back inside to Cyrus Tate if I can.
My contention has always been 2 + 3 = 5 just as easily as 3 + 2.
A lot of time in this game, Dave.
Bodies all over the floor. You know, and we've talked to people and they have been amazed, and so have I, at how hard these teams have played here in these 2 days in Peoria. Here we go. Freddie Barnes, Montler not making it easy on him. Miranda, the defensive specialist inside, prevented the lob inside to Tate.
He got up on the high side where he was able to bat away with his left hand. That's fundamental defense, just fighting for position.
Weatherspoon back in for the Lions. Nussbaum to trigger. Tate wants it, gets it, powers it, he'll shoot 2. Clock stops with 1:18.
Cyrus Tate is a man possessed right now. He just holds his ground. Low, wide base on the inside of his inbounds play. A nice pass away from the defense by Nussbaum, and Tate takes it up strong right in to Miranda, who draws the foul.
Tate, a 73% free throw shooter on the season.
It was 49-41. Peoria missed 2 consecutive 1-and-1s. Since that time, Cyrus Tate has a conventional 3-point play. Then the turnover. Homewood gets the ball back out of bounds. Tate back to the line, going for his 5th consecutive point in this run. He's trying to get him back by himself.
It is a 3-point game. Livingston fouled quickly. One way or another, number 14 was going to get that ball in his hands. It only took a second off the clock. That's the 9th team foul on Homewood.
Peoria only 64% of the team, but they got the right guy that they want, 78% for Livingston. Again, they had missed 2 consecutive one-on-ones to let Homewood-Flossmoor back in this game.
Clutch right there.
Cold as ice. Sean Livingston.
To a 5-point difference. 25 for Livingston. Julian Wright, he may take it all the way. They won't let him. Hardy to Wright. The spin. That was halfway down. Livingston the other way to Lee, to Weatherspoon, and the block by Wright. Wow.
Was or was this ball not on its way down in the cylinder? There we see the replay. There's the take, and no, that was a pretty clean block by Julian Wright, who was able to bat the ball off the glass and keep his team with that slight slimmer of hope.
Livingston will just head to the open floor. They have to get him. Barnes does.
We talked about Livingston's legacy at the Open. 2 championships, 22 points in the semis, 25 points and counting here. Arguably one of the all-time great players in the state of Illinois. And there's been an awful lot of great players in the state of Illinois.
26 now for Livingston. With all the great players in Illinois, there will be a great debate here whether he's the greatest to come out of Peoria.
No doubt.
27, a 7-point lead. It was 3 just moments ago. Sean Livingston has turned that around. Nussbaum. Big rebound right. He heads out beyond the arc. Nussbaum again. Hardy inside. Rebound Weatherspoon. Lee fouled by Wright. Julian Wright will foul out. Brandon Lee will head to the line, and Carver Arena will come to its feet.
365 days ago, they already started thinking about March of 2004, and here they are about to do something that's once in a lifetime, but for them, it's back-to-back.
You look at Brandon Lee. He has lived the city of Peoria basketball, first with Peoria Manual, and now for Peoria High. And he just said, I just feel like I'm living a dream.
Manual won it 94, 95, 96, 97. The guy to our right won back-to-back in 91, 92. Bill Hitzpier, Proviso East Pirates, and Peoria Central about to put it on the map for their school.
Almost irrelevant, the 2 misses. Hardy is fouled, going hard to the hole. 9.6 seconds left, and it's agony right now for Peoria. They want this clock to go 0-0. Brandon Lee picks up the foul, his 5th.
And he should get a standing ovation, not just from the Peoria fans, but from every fan here at Carver Arena. What an exemplary young man he is.
Next time he touched the basketball, will be in the Big Ten, playing for Northwestern.
Came off after that foul with a Clutched the lip. Where's the smile? He's about to win a state championship, for crying out loud. Let it go.
Mottler in the backcourt. Will hold. Will clear it. And we have back-to-back champions in the city of Peoria. It is one thing to win one state championship. To go back-to-back puts another level of pressure. But when the pressure is piled on you that you are expected to go back-to-back, and yet you do it, what an amazing accomplishment by an outstanding team.
They played with incredible passion. They played with incredible poise. They hit a wall, according to Chuck Bisher in February. They were worn out. They were worn out physically. They were worn out mentally. They had a couple injuries. But what a great job they did to stay together, to stay as one, to stay in unison, to keep their eye on the prize. And they played progressively better in this tournament. A very deserved champion. A very, very special basketball team led by a couple special players.
The headlines are out. Peoria, back-to-back champions. Let's go now to Lee Hall. Lee.
All right, we're with Chuck Bisher, 2 in a row, Chuck. They didn't make it easy on you, though. It looked like you had it in the bag, and then, boy, they came right back on.
Well, we talk, it's never finished. And they're not going to quit for a state championship. They have a lot of talent. Our kids played great tonight. Sean Livingston, Jacob Mottler, Brandon Lee. Our big men were great. We had enough. You'd like to finish a little better, but they, like I said, they got a lot of talent. I will say this for Homewood-Flossmoor, they're tremendous. I think the couple hours extra rest helped us. Nice having a 10-point lead, them having probably legs a little more dead than us, and us being able to hold the ball. We missed a couple free throws at first, but we had a good enough cushion.
You said that the hardest wins to win are the ones you're expected to win, and you faced that every game this year, and you came up with the biggest one of the year here tonight.
We did. I felt the pressure was off today. I think our kids did too. And that's a great team we beat tonight. I mean, they're outstanding. And, you know, we had a tough game this afternoon. They had a really emotionally tough game. I think we benefited a little from that, but we played great.
Congratulations, Chuck. A lot of people are going to want to know, and I apologize for asking this. Is this the last game for you?
Now, you've already asked once today. I'm teasing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to step away in the 1st of April. I want to just get away from it all. And I'll make a decision around the 1st of the next month.
All right, congratulations, Chuck. 2 in a row for Chuck Bisher. Sean Livingston, our country insurance player of the game.
It's a great game, so I'm happy for you.
We're happy for you too, Sean. You faced expectations since 5th grade, and well, you stepped up bigger than ever here tonight.
Man, I mean, this is sweet, man. Just to end my career like this, you know what I mean? I mean, all the pressure I had to face, you know what I mean? And my teammates, man, I got them to thank, and my coach, and, you know what I'm saying, the Lord, man, for real, because he brought me through all this, you know what I'm saying, with all these expectations and everything. You know, people starting to doubt me. I mean, that's just part of it anyway, but man, I could be here all night talking about, you know, what went on in my mind, man. But this is definitely sweeter just to go out like this.
Congratulations, Sean.
Thanks.
Sean Livingston, our country insurance player of the game. Dave, back to you.
Sean Livingston, 27 points and 9 rebounds tonight. What a way to close out a fabulous career. And as Sean has said, an awful lot of pressure on him all season long, and he gets the state championship. Let's go down courtside once again for our awards here in this championship game.
Athletic Director Ken Schultz. Head Coach Roy Condotti. Assistant Coach Jim McLaughlin. Assistant Coach Dwayne Van Slyke. Assistant Coach Ken Ridgway. Manager Jeff Nussbaum. And now the Vikings. 4, Excel Hardy. 10, DJ Posley. 11, Ronell Robinson. 12, Brian Essig. 20, Neil Trainer. 24, Reggie Brown. 30, Julian Wright. 32, Freddie Barnes. 34, Dan Selvey. 35, Brian Nussbaum. 40, Dominic Baker. 42, Paul Hobson. 44, Cyrus Tate. 50, Tim Johnson. 54, Mitchell Hayes. Presenting the first place medallions will be Ron Connor of Clinton, Division 5, assisted by Catherine Finch of Stockton, an at-large member. At this team time, please meet the Lions of Peoria Central, Class AA 2004 state champions, 31-2. Superintendent Kay Royster. Principal Otto Geist. Activities Director Chris Perry. Head Coach Chuck Bisher. Assistant Coach Dan Ruffin. Assistant Coach Chuck Westendorf. Assistant Coach Eric Heath. Assistant Coach Michi Edwards. Now the Lions, 3, Jacob Mutler. 5, Terrence Smith. 11, Jeff Wires. 14, Sean Livingston. 15, Dustin Warfield. 21, Kennedy Green. 22, Brandon Lee. 24, Zach Davis. 25, Orlando Edwards. 32, Jeremy Rawls. 33, Brandon Foster. 34, DeAndre Miranda. 44, Leslie Weatherspoon. 50, Reggie Russell. And the manager, Valdez Robinson. Presenting the team trophies will be Vice President Joe Schindler, Hoffman Estates Conant representing Division 2. Now will Coach Condotti and the captains of Homewood-Flossmoor step forward and receive the second place trophy, Class AA Boys 2004. And now will Coach Bisher and the captains of Peoria Central Lions accept their Class AA State Championship Trophy 2004. Congratulations, the Lions defending their championship. And thanks to you, the fans, making America's original March Madness another exciting weekend in Peoria.
So Peoria High School wins their second state championship. They win it right here on this floor. And now, Mark, let the debates begin about all the great Peoria teams. The Peoria Manuals, the Peoria Centrals, if you will. Which way are they going to go? Well, they've got a lot of time here in the spring and summer to talk about it.
Well, it'll be bannered around this city. This city loves basketball. It's one of the meccas of basketball in the state, and there are many pockets of schools and cities in Illinois that love basketball. This was a great basketball team. They had some doubters, and they got a loss or two. My goodness, they're not supposed to lose a game. They get a loss or two. The world didn't fall apart. Their team didn't fall apart. They pulled together, and you know what? We talked about the pace car. They did that tonight. When they wanted to push it, they pushed it and got transition. When they wanted to pull it back, they did that and milked the clock.
Back with more Carver Arena right after this. There is your state championship score. Peoria 53-47 over Homewood-Flossmoor as Peoria goes to 31-2 on the season. Congratulations to the Lions, past and present. Take a look at all the multiple state titles won. Peoria Manual, of course, with 5. 4 of those came in succession. Then Stephen Decatur, East St. Louis, Lincoln, Lawrenceville, Proviso and Proviso East with 4 apiece, along with Mount Vernon and Peoria Central. Again, shows up here in the elite teams. 4 times they've done it. 1908 with Lee Stracer, a 17-1 record. We saw Bruce Boyle earlier this week, 29-2, got it done in 1977. And look at those numbers, 2003, 2004, combined record of 62-3. Congratulations to Peoria for winning the state championship. And Mark, back-to-back state champions. It's great in terms of how the girls AA went back-to-back with Naperville Central. Now Peoria accomplishment. What an amazing weeks we've had here.
Candace Parker leads her team, the best basketball player in Illinois. Sean Livingston leads his team. They both end up with double rings.
Let's take a look at our Apt Electronics play of the game here tonight in the state championship ball game. You like them up high, you like them going down. Yes, sir. Sean Livingston doing the honors, our Apt Electronics play of the game. And, you know, it's been a great week here. It's been an outstanding week here. We've had an awful lot of fun here at Carver Arena. But, you know, it's been a wild 4 weeks of high school basketball in Illinois. And tonight, the season closed with Peoria repeating as state champions. Throughout the girls and boys tournament, the sportsmanship exhibited was exceptional, proving that Illinois is truly the home of the original March Madness. Watching the exceptional skills of these athletes has been a treat for all who witnessed these contests. And win or lose, the memories of this tournament will forever remain with the players and the fans who witnessed the magic from here at Carver and all around the Illinois heartland. It truly has been a great week here in Peoria. For Lee Hall, for Mark Lindo, our entire IHSA television crew, thanks for joining us, everybody. Congratulations to Peoria, your 2004 state champions.